to Chinatown, going back underground. Oh yeah.
Chinatown, most recognized for the fresh produce vendors, butchers, exotic foods and lay stands by day, and a checkered past by night. The unique atmosphere and multicultural influences make this community home to artists, bartenders, clothing designers, comedians, and many nightlife hotspots. Hi, my name is Danielle Laudize, and this is Chinatown Connections. In each show, we will bring you entertainers and entrepreneurs from around Chinatown, showing you how they both define and support Honolulu's art district. Today, we'll be talking to C. Alori from On King Art Center, and later, Shannon Winpenny with Laugh Track Theater. Both are performers that offer Chinatown visitors something special. Welcome, C. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Danielle. It's good to be here.
Well, it's nice to have you here.
All right.
We had the opportunity to check out one of the open mic Sunday nights.
Oh, okay.
We're going to take a look. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a look.
Welcome to On King. Come on in.
This is On King, and I hope you might come in with me. This is a brand new day. This is a day that we can act crazy. This is a place called On King where sometimes people might not feel so lazy. They might jump onto a microphone and sing something wild, or learn to dance and express themselves, and sometimes just act like a child, because deep down inside we all got a crazy expression king. And I hope you bring your king and your queen and come down here and let all your fears disappear, because this is On King. It's about opening up. It's about acting crazy. It's about just getting up off your ass and looking somebody in the eye and saying, yo, here I am. We share this world together. We got a community together. Sometimes things fall, but we still try to get it together. My name is C. Bless it up.
Wow, there seems to be a lot going on that On King Art Center. Tell us about the Art Center.
Well, it's a, like I said before, it's a place of expression. I mean, if you look at it and you go look inside, what is it? It's 4 walls and it's a room. Doesn't seem like there's a lot, but it's really what people bring. Everybody who comes into that space has something to share, and we really encourage that. We really encourage anybody who comes in to just take a risk and express themselves is the main thing. Take a risk and say what it is you're saying, say what it is you're thinking, what it is you're feeling, move, draw, paint. It's not about coming down there and drinking a lot. It's not about coming down there and getting, trying to look cool or trying to be, the number one person. It's really not about any one person. It's about a culture of expression. And we're trying to encourage that culture of expression as part of Hawaii culture, because a lot of times, if you notice, in our culture today, people don't take a lot of risks in terms of expressing themselves. You don't see it a lot here in Hawaii that people say, acknowledge you on the street. There's a lot of aloha, and people are like very live and let live. But this is more about going further than that. It's going further than just taking your aloha spirit and then just opening it up and opening up, like, your mind and your voice. There's a lot of issues that we got going on in this world. There's a lot of things that people want to respond to. And sometimes it's good to have a place like On King where you can just feel safe. Like whatever you have to say, whatever you have to sing, it might be your first time getting up there, but you feel safe. You feel like you can do it. And you feel like you can open up, and that's you know, that's a valuable thing for people. And then hopefully from there they can take it further out into their communities, into their lives, and just feel more safe in terms of expressing themselves and demanding their truths to be heard, you know, in general.
Absolutely. That's so cool. So it's drug-free, alcohol-free,
Right.
all ages?
All ages.
Very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And what was your inspiration to start On King Art Center?
Well, I got a master's degree at University of Hawaii in theater. So, big job market there. No, and I've always wanted, a big reason that I went to college, and I think a lot of people do, is just because they need a space to have freedom. And I know I keep going back to that theme, but it's important to myself as an artist, as a theater creator, to have a space where it's just empty. It's not a living room, it ain't a bedroom, it ain't a kitchen, it's just an empty room, and it can be anything that you can imagine at any particular time. So that was really vital to me. And I have a partner at On King named Jonathan, and he had already tried opening a space before, and it didn't really work out. So I took it on as kind of the manager and the kind of role in the space. And then you saw him in that video, he was playing the drums and he was on the mic a little bit. He has an amazing band called Quadraphonics, which really kind of provides the musical backdrop of the space. And so that was kind of those two forces coming together, that safe space for creation and his like musical ability, and also his ability to create the floors and put in the sliding doors and build the bar. I mean, it's everything there is like homemade, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the name On King Art Center?
On King, well, On King is the sound of a gong, ong, and then the sound of a triangle, king, so it's On King. And it's
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay.
Yeah, or I'm
That's
not.
awesome.
But
not really. Okay.
But no, but I am.
I'll
but
believe it.
And then, but at the same time, it's on King Street, so that's kind of funny.
Right.
But I don't know. It's kind of the On King thing. I mean, we're kind of, you know, there's other venues in Chinatown that just name themselves after their location.
Right.
So we're kind of thought that was funny to just kind of be like that, but kind of not.
Totally.
It's kind of silly.
What is your background as an artist and a performer?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I like to create plays, and I like to create theater. I write and direct plays, and I'm a slam poet, sort of. I was on the slam poetry team. I'm a freestyle MC, so I do some freestyling. I do a little, you know, just improvise and beatboxing. Whatever, and I host a lot of stuff, events, just going up on the mic and keeping the energy flowing. Here we go, kind of like what you're doing, you know, oh, here we go to this, and now boom, bless this, next act, and like, you know, and let's get crazy and act, you know, and then just, so those things, so writing and directing, and then the solo kind of stuff.
Very cool. You have the personality for it.
Oh, thanks.
Definitely. I know that you lived all over the place. Why did you choose to live in Hawaii?
Well, you know, I think some people are here because of the school, and I think I'm one of those people.
Okay.
They accepted me, they gave me a full ride, and they're like, come down and do your thing. And so I did that for 3 years, and then after I was done, I felt like I still had time left here, and I kind of had a feeling when I went to get a master's degree that I'd stay wherever I was for a while. I mean, Hawaii is awesome. I mean, why wouldn't you go to the beach? I think the air is really important for me. Just, especially in my undergrad, which I got an undergrad in acting, everything was about breathing. So, you know, just being able to breathe deeply and breathe fresh air is really key.
Absolutely, absolutely. And On King is a very special place. Why did you choose to have it in Chinatown, and what makes it unique?
Well, Chinatown is really the only spot where you can find some real culture in this town. I mean, you know, like what are you going to go to Waikiki? I mean, like it's Chinatown is, at least, especially at night, we have just opportunity. I mean, there's places where you can still create a spark and freestyle and create a spark on the street. And it's gritty, it's a little tough, it's a little bit needing of artists, it's a little bit needing of culture, it's a little bit needing of new expression. So I just felt like that's where we're needed, and that's where there's opportunity.
Very cool. So you kind of did the underground, you didn't do the whole Waikiki scene.
Right.
Very cool. And as a performer, what other events are you able to perform at in Chinatown?
Man, you know, I perform on the street a little bit. I do some stuff at for Live at the Lawn and for the State Art Museum. I host events for them. But almost everything, I mean, when you're the artist, performer, proprietor, manager of the space, it's like you end up being there a lot. And let me tell you that our space almost closed down. Do you want to ask about that?
Yes, I did want to ask about that.
I'll tell you about that since you asked. The thing is, King almost closed down. And we were about to be done, we were about to be closed. It came out in the Star Bulletin, came out in some other things. Oh no, King's been closed, oh my God. So then these 3 amazing angels showed up. These 3 women are going to come in and they're all going to start taking over management, and I'm going to flow out across the seas to San Francisco.
Why San Francisco?
Well, I don't know. I just want to pulse the nation from there, you know. And I just feel like I want to get more in terms of a national scene. But you know, the main thing is that King's going to keep happening,
right? And
that I just really want people to know that, and that Sunday open mic will still be happening, and it goes from 9 to 1. First Friday will still be happening, and that's our big First Friday celebration. And the space is there. And if anyone has an idea, if anyone has a concept, if anyone does anything they want to do in terms of theater, music, etc., bring it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sad to hear that you're leaving, but best wishes to you.
Thank you.
So Chinatown is a very dangerous place. I mean, my mom is always sketch about me, like, hey, going to Chinatown, peace out. You know, she's like, no. So what do you think about Chinatown? What has your experiences been there so far?
I've never had a violent experience in Chinatown. It's really it's got a reputation more so than the reality of it. The reality is socioeconomic, that there's a lot of homeless people, that there's a lot of people who have some kind of alcoholism or other kind of mental problems that are out there. But at the same time, it's still Hawaii. There's not a lot of violence. There's just more homeless and kind of desperate people on the streets. And that turns off a lot of people from coming down there in the first place. And so when people see that, they kind of assume that there's kind of this other violent thing that goes with it. And yes, there have been some incidences, but not that I've been around or been seen. So I just think it's a little bit blown out of proportion, and it's more just, you know, if you give people just their space and just let them do their thing, you're not gonna have a problem in Chinatown.
Okay, that's very positive to say. How do you envision the future of Chinatown? What do you hope it becomes?
Well, I mean, I hope it really becomes a place where there's progressive ideas and progressive thinking. I mean, I really hope it becomes a place that there's freedom and art on the street. I mean, I don't want it to become just about how much beer people are drinking. I don't want it to become about, just, who looks the coolest. I really want it to be a place where people feel that sense of freedom and they feel a sense of community. Right. Those are my wishes,
Absolutely.
And that there's more parking.
Yeah, right.
But and that people, but at the same time, that people ride their bikes more. I mean, that kind of is a progressive idea. So those kinds of things, I'd like to see those be the visions of Chinatown.
Very cool. And before you go, you need to give us a taste of what you do.
Okay, all right.
Go for it. Stage is yours.
Bust it out. All right. Yeah. So I wrote this little one-man show, and this is just a little piece of that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay? So check it. There be mirthical, mythical, there be magical dreams, there be sustainable science, there be a progressive scene. We be returning to nature, we be learning right now. We be returning to nature, trying to evolve somehow. We're evoking evolution through evoking some solutions. What? We're evoking evolution. What, y'all? Through evoking some solutions. Check it. Global warming hits from the greenhouse gases. CO2 piling in the air is massive, but the solution is in the problem. A simple flip of the script is how we solve them. We could put the algae plants by the coal factory. Algae eats the carbon out the air. That's crazy. The solution is in the problem. That's how we solve them. We could stop our doom with that algae bloom. You think I'm crazy, some kind of false prophet? Google greener fuels, the hits be flowing like a faucet. And then the planes and the trucks and the planes go by and they ain't no smoke around. Now there ain't no smoke around. See, there'd be mythical, there'd be magical dreams, there'd be sustainable science, there'd be a progressive scene. We'd be returning to nature. We'd be learning right now. We'd be returning to nature, trying to evolve somehow. We're evoking evolution through evoking some solutions, y'all.
That was great. That was awesome. I loved it. I want a CD.
You want more? No. Is there time?
Well, there you have it.
All
Make
right.
sure to check out the artists and performers in Chinatown, as well as what's going on at On King. Thank you, Steve, for coming in and joining us.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you.
Up next on Chinatown Connections, we have improv comedian and co-owner of Laugh Track Theater, Shannon Winpenny. We visited the theater to check out one of their weekly improv comedy classes to see just how funny they are. Let's take a look.
We are in front of the Laugh Track Theater Company, located at 1123 Bethel Street, directly across the street from the historic Hawaii Theater. We've got performances every Friday and Saturday night at 8 and 10 p.m., as well as a training center. We are a training center Monday through Thursday. We've got classes ongoing. Check our website for more details. We teach the art of long-form improvisational comedy, and it's a great, good time.
Thanks, Shannon, for joining us today. Those classes looked amazing. It looks like something I would want to try. Tell us about Laugh Track Theater.
Well, Laugh Track Theater, first of all, it is fun and you would totally love it. Laugh Track Theater is actually Hawaii's only improvisational theater. It's the only thing of its kind in the state of Hawaii, which is really pretty amazing, and we're really proud of that. It's located downtown in Chinatown. We've been open for about a year. We're a training center as well as a venue for improvisational comedy. So what we do is we teach our students the art of improvisational comedy, and after they finish our training, which is a 3-tiered program, they then become our performers on the weekends. So it's very cool, very in-house, very community.
Very cool. And what was your inspiration to start this theater?
Well, I moved home, and actually I was living in Chicago at the time, and I moved home and I really missed the improv I was doing in Chicago. And Kim Potter, who owns the theater with me, convinced me to teach a class because I was complaining too much. And I never thought about teaching, and I said, I don't want to teach, nobody will want to take a class. She said, if somebody did, how many would you want? I said, no more than 15. She called me a week later and said, we have 15.
No way.
So we rented a space on Nu'uanu at a little casting studio, and I just started opening my mouth and saying, well, we're going to have a place for you to perform, and didn't think that you had to make reservations or book places 6 months in advance. So it was out of necessity, but also just following your instinct, which is one of the cornerstones of improv. So we just followed our improv instincts.
And what's your background?
My background is I'm born and raised here in Hawaii. I started doing local theater around here, and one of the shows I was in had improvisation in it. So one of the groups here, Loose Screws, got a hold of me and asked me to join their group. From there I had so much fun that I wanted to see what I could do in Chicago, you know, that kind of big fish, little pond. And I turned into a very smaller than a guppy tadpole in Chicago, but still love the art form. So I've been performing for about 14, 15 years, the art of improvisation.
Wow, so you're a professional then.
Yes, about as professional as an improvisational comedian can be. I mean, I'm qualified to hold a rubber chicken if need be on occasion, but other than that, yeah.
Right. So you're originally from Hawaii, and then you went to college for in the mainland, and then you came back to Hawaii. What brought you back here?
What brought me back here actually was family. It's one thing that I think the mainland does not share as much as here in Hawaii is how close family is here. And my mother got ill and passed away in 2007.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. And I realized how much I missed my family, and I didn't want to miss out anymore on my family. So I moved home a few months later, started whining that I missed improv, and the rest is history.
Very cool. And why did you choose to open a theater in Chinatown?
In Chinatown specifically, I think we just absolutely love Chinatown. We love everything that it possesses, its potential, what it already has, the community. I think it's amazing that there's really established places like Peggy Chan Gallery, Kim Taylor Reese Gallery, little tiny places like us that don't compete with the Hawaii Theater, but the Hawaii Theater encourages us to do well. So it's a really sense of community. And I say every night there are 5 theaters within walking distance in the Arts District, which in my opinion makes it a theater district, which I don't think a lot of people know.
Right.
So I think that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. And how did you come up with the name of your theater?
Laugh Track Theater Company. Well, a lot of names came up, and we just kind of fell with one, and we wanted to create an environment that was so fun and people having such a good time in there that one could record a laugh track.
Very cool. I like that. And what makes it unique, and what do you offer the area that is different?
Well, what makes it unique is, as I said, it's the only improvisational theater in the state of Hawaii, and we train all of our performers, and they become our cast members that play every weekend. The training center, people have student ID cards, they come and see shows for free, so there's a very strong sense of community at our theater, which is really, really unique. I think what we offer the community is we're not in competition with anybody. We're not selling alcohol, we're not selling food, you know, we're a place of entertainment, but different entertainment that everyone else provides. And I think because of that, when we got in there, we weren't a threat to anybody, and so we were able to go in and say, hey, how can we support you? And I think it's been reciprocal, and we've had wonderful neighbors, wonderful friends, and again, why I love the community so much. So I think we just add another flavor to Chinatown, and I think that's pretty neat.
I actually got to stop by it on First Friday, which was really cool. We didn't go in yet, but I want to go in.
But the outside looks great, just want to let you know.
It does look great, and it's so fun. It's such a cute little place. You walk in, and you're just like, whoa. You know, we heard the crowd. It sounded like a really good crowd on Friday night, on First Friday. So that was really cool. Tell us more about your classes. How much is it for a class?
Well, the classes, there's a 3-tier program. So we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And each level is 8 weeks, and we meet once a week for 3 hours, and it's $175 for the 8 weeks. There's a 4th level, which is your performance run. Anybody who finishes the program is welcome on Saturday nights to showcase their team that they've been working with for the past 6 months, bring their family and friends down, which is exactly why we wanted a space. We didn't really want to give these guys that work really hard a dark night at some other place at a Tuesday at 10 o'clock, you know. We really wanted to try to find a way to feature them, and having a training center and theater seemed like the best way.
Very cool. And what makes the community special to you?
Downtown, it's the Arts District. I can't tell you how much I love it. Every time I come down, I love it. And it's the people there. It's your own weird little Mr. Rogers neighborhood, except really extremely amazingly talented people. I mean, from the restaurants, the food that's in the restaurants, the diverse restaurants that are down there and the food they offer, to the art that's down there, to, you know, the Arts at Mark's Garage has constantly different types of media and art, and, you know, just well-established artists, like I said, and, you know, an Irish pizza pub. Not a lot of places can say there's an Irish pizza pub, you know? Right. So everything, a really classy tattoo shop / gallery. Like, everything is so neat, and everybody loves each other and wants to see each other do well. I know that sounds corny, but we really do. We see each other, there's high fives down the street, or you see somebody, you know, you want to say hi, and, you know, that's kind of the vibe, especially on Bethel Street, which I think has grown a lot. I can say Bethel Street because that's where we are. Right. You know, I know Nu'uanu is fabulous, but I think Bethel is up and coming as well.
So you get along with your business neighbors then?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love them.
You have relationships with them? And
what kind of relationships are you asking about? Because I'm not getting into that. But let's just say, no, I'm just kidding. No, our immediate next door neighbor is Sol de Cuba, and they're fantastic. And if ever we need ice, you know, we'll sneak through the back door, and, you know, they'll give us ice, or, you know, they're really sweet, and they're really great to our customers. And on the other side is Dr. Eugene, the optometrist, and he puts up with our really loud students during the day, and, you know, all of it. They're all just great.
That is so funny. I've taken acting classes, and it can get really intense if you don't know what's going on.
It is, and that,
like,
you know,
is someone dying?
And I just imagine somebody like F Gee, what in the... Yeah, so...
Right. That is so funny. So how do you and your theater support local performers?
Well, what we do we have local performers in our theater, and what we try to do every night, I host the evenings, and after every show, I like to mention what a great art district we're in. And so I mention the 5 theaters that are in walking distance, and I mention the productions that are going on in them and to check them out. And the one thing I always say is, you know, live theater is a dying art form, you know, what with the internet and all. So, you know, go out and support, you know, your energy does everything to performers, and go out and support it in any way. It doesn't have to be just this theater, anywhere. Support this theater district, you know, and then stop at JJ's and grab a slice and a beer, you know. I recommend their car bombs, they're delicious.
How do you and your business, I don't know, I guess, how do you guys want to affect the future of Chinatown in the future? What do you hope to affect?
I think that's a really great question. What I want to have happen down there is and I know both of us, Kim and I, both really want, and that was when we first moved in there, was we want to make the Arts District a destination for art and artists and people who love art and culture, and to have tourists and residents alike know first time they hear Chinatown or the Arts District, that's the first thing they think, is that is the destination for culture. You know, there's, you know, the clubs that are down there are not just hole-in-the-wall bars. They, you know, really interesting, clever, mixed media, really fancy. Like, I walked into Bar 35 and I wasn't wearing the right clothes. Like, it was hip, you know?
It is very hip.
But it still has that edgy, you know, you still have the Golden Gate or Smith's Union right next door, so I think that adds to the color of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Shannon, for being here today. I'm excited to at least check out one of the shows or maybe sign up for one of the classes.
You better do either.
Okay.
Or I know where you are and I'll come find you.
Okay. So today we got a look into how 2 people are working to showcase local artists and performers in Chinatown. We talked with C from On King and Shannon from Laugh Track Theater. We learned about what makes the community special and how the close community aspects of Chinatown is important for a thriving arts district. In the next show, we will talk with Noah LaProga from the Art of Independent Artists known as the Ground Up Pirates, as well as local designer and co-owner of E-Town Studios, Pia Culliman. I'm Danielle, and thanks for joining us today on Chinatown Connections.
Going back to China.